Welcome to the Story Spark channel. I was sitting at our kitchen table that Monday morning. We had just finished breakfast, and I was enjoying my coffee while reading the newspaper. That's when my wife Beatrice spoke up. "Rob, put down the newspaper. I need to talk to you." I set the paper on the table. "I'm leaving you, Rob. I want a divorce." "Is that all?" I picked up my newspaper and went back to reading the sports section. "I'm serious, Rob." I ignored her, which made her angry. "Damn it, Rob, put that newspaper down and talk to me." "About what? I have nothing to say except goodbye. It's not a big loss anyway. You haven't been a good wife for over a year now, so go." I put down the paper, stood up, and walked to my home office. I grabbed a notebook, pen, and an envelope from my desk drawer. Back at the kitchen table, I wrote on the top sheet, "Tom, thank you, thank you, thank you, and thank God she's leaving me." I was about to put it in the envelope when I had an idea. I took out one of the lottery tickets I'd bought the night before and put it in the envelope. Then I added to my note, "Maybe if you get lucky and win, it'll be enough money to keep the cheater happy so she won't cheat again. Good luck, kid. You're going to need it." I signed it, "A very grateful Rob." I folded the paper, put it in the envelope, sealed it, wrote the address, and handed it to Beatrice. "When you see him, give him this." She took it with a shocked look and said, "Just because you think I'm stupid doesn't mean I am." "Maybe," I said, taking the envelope back, "I should mail it myself. I don't trust you not to open it, read it, and throw it away. Now go pack your things and get out of my life. Since you're leaving, you need to be out of the house as soon as possible." "I'm not going anywhere. I'm not moving out just so you can move your lover in." I stood up, poured coffee into a travel mug, and headed to work. On the way, I stopped at the bank and closed our shared savings and checking accounts. I also emptied our safe deposit box. Then I went to a bank closer to my workplace and opened new accounts in my name only. After that, I called and canceled all our joint credit cards and got new ones in just my name. Then I got on with my regular workday. I stayed late at work and had dinner and drinks with my executive assistant, telling her I was available again if her sister was still interested. Stella laughed and said, "Forget my sister. If you're single again, I want to be first in line." Stella had started working for me as a secretary 10 years ago. She was so good at her job that 4 years ago, I promoted her to my assistant. 2 years ago, to give her the promotion she deserved, I made her my executive assistant. One Sunday, I had a barbecue in my backyard and invited Stella. She said she couldn't come because her sister was visiting from out of town, so I told her to bring her sister along. Her sister Tara was an attractive blonde with a big chest, and on Monday, Stella told me laughing that Tara had a crush on me. I laughed and told her never to mention it to Beatrice because she could be, and sometimes was, extremely jealous. And now, Stella was telling me she was interested in me. I had never thought she might feel that way. "All right," I said jokingly, "then Tara moves to second place and you can take first." "I'm not joking at all, boss. I'm completely serious. I want to give it a try." "Stella, you might not agree when you hear what I have to offer." "What exactly?" "She told me she wants a divorce, so I'm leaving it to her and her lover, and I have no idea what their plans might be." "Her lover?" "She's been sleeping with this guy for about a year and a half. I think she finally decided that seeing him a few days a week isn't enough, so she wants to be with him full time." "How long have you known?" "A year and a half. I knew almost from the start." "How did you find out?" "A friend of mine saw her going into a motel room with a man and called me. I hired a private detective to follow her for a week, and he got me all the information I needed." "A year and a half, and you did nothing about it?" "What was I supposed to do? Get angry and turn my life upside down? In this state, divorce is no fault. everything gets split in half. I'd have to sell the house and split the money with her. I'd have to give up the pool, the hot tub, my woodworking shop and the 3-car garage, and move into some apartment. No, thank you. I decided to just ignore it and let her cook for me, do my laundry, and keep the house clean. How could you be around her knowing she was cheating on you? You'd be surprised how quickly love can turn to hate, and then hate turns into not caring anymore. I can't believe a healthy guy like you could go a year and a half without sex. Who said anything about no sex? As long as Beatrice was offering, I was taking. She kept offering, though less often. I didn't touch her on the days I knew she was with him. But other than that, the only change was that I stopped making love and just had sex. Do you know why she did it? No idea, but he probably wasn't the first. You think she had other lovers? I can't know for sure, but what I do know is that in our 10 years of marriage, she got into a certain mood 4 times that I can remember. For a while, she acted the way she has been for the last year and a half since she got involved with this guy. It's just a guess, but I'd bet those other times were for the same reason. If she hadn't been seen and I hadn't been told, I would have thought this recent mood was just another one of those women's things. Maybe I'm wrong, but it doesn't matter. I know for sure about this affair, and that's all I need to know to understand she's a cheater. What are you going to do now? Wait. Wait for what? To see what she plans to do now that she's on her own. I emptied the bank accounts, canceled all her credit cards, and told her to get out of the house. She wanted a divorce, so I'm leaving it up to her. Since she doesn't make enough money to support herself and pay a lawyer, she'll have to get money for a lawyer from her lover, and I don't know if he'll give it to her. I assume they talked about this before she told me, but I have no way of knowing. I'm just saying, if you're really interested in me, you'll be involved with a married man who has no idea how long it will take before he gets divorced. You're thinking about this the wrong way, Rob. How so? If she files for divorce, she'll be in control. You'll be served, and that could be bad. You have no idea what she might do. They might order you to leave the house and give it to her while the case is going on. What if she files and claims you were mentally and physically cruel to her and gets a restraining order keeping you away from her in the house? You need to be in charge, boss. You need to make her react, not the other way around. Besides, you'll be helping me a lot. Helping you how? If you're going to wait and let her file, what if she doesn't? What if her lover doesn't give her the money for it? That would put us in a position where if we get together, it would be adultery, and she could use that against you later. You say she cheated, and she says, so what? You did too. If you file first, you're saying that as far as you're concerned, the marriage is over, and what you do after that is none of her business. Legally, you'll still be married until the divorce is final, and being with me would technically still be adultery, but no court will hold that against you if it doesn't start until after you filed for divorce from Beatrice. So it seems I need to stay away from you until either me or Beatrice takes legal action. If we wait for her, it could take years, or maybe just a week, but it would be under her control. If you file, you could meet with a lawyer early tomorrow and serve her by Thursday. That would give me the weekend to work on winning you over. Winning me over? I'm completely serious, boss. What's the point of being first in line if I don't take advantage of it? She was right, and I knew it. So I pulled out my cell phone and used speed dial to call Josh. Josh and I had been friends since 3rd grade, and Josh was a lawyer who handled divorces. When he answered, I told him I needed his legal help and explained my situation. He was sorry to hear it because he and his wife Sally were our friends, and he liked Beatrice. But he said he would take care of it first thing in the morning and asked me to come by at lunchtime. I could sign the papers, and then we could have lunch. Then, just to be difficult, I told him I wanted a restraining order. I lied and said Beatrice told me that if I caused her any trouble for leaving me, her lover Tom Noble would straighten me out. Josh laughed and said he knew I was making it up, but that he would do it. You know there will be a hearing about this order within 10 days, right? I can get it and serve it, but there has to be a hearing before the judge will make it permanent. I know, and I'm ready for that. But right now, the main thing is to get her out of the house and keep her out for a while. We don't have kids, so she has no real reason to use the house while the divorce is happening. I'm following the idea that possession is 9/10 of the law. There's no reason for a judge to order me out and let her in. That's what I'm trying to do. I told her to get out when we talked this morning, but I don't know what I'll find when I get home. She might be gone, or she might still be there. Since I can't be sure where she'll be, I plan to serve her at work. There's no chance you two could work something out? None. Then I'll see you tomorrow. I hung up, looked across the table at Stella, and asked, "What do you have planned for me this weekend?" She told me her ideas, and they sounded pretty good to me. When I got home, Beatrice was sitting at the kitchen table going through some papers. "Why are you still here?" I asked, walking to the fridge and grabbing a beer. "This is my house too. I'll stay here until I can make other arrangements. If you don't like my company, feel free to move out." "And let you bring your lover here? Not in your damn life." "Sit down, and let's talk about what we're going to do." "There's nothing to talk about. I know what I'm going to do, and I don't care what you plan to do. There are things that need to be worked out, Rob." "No, Beatrice, there aren't. It's simple. You said you want a divorce, so go and get it. You need to hire a lawyer, you need to file the papers, and you need to pay all the court costs. What I will do is fight you every step of the way for every little thing. We live in a no-fault state. Everything is split 50-50, so decisions will have to be made about who gets what as their half. I'll drag this out to keep your lawyer fees adding up. You know they don't work for free, right? You want the coffee table? Well, guess what? I want it too. You want the couch? Too bad, B. It has great sentimental value to me, and I simply must have it. Why all of a sudden? You didn't seem to care about any of this. You didn't even show any emotion when I told you I wanted a divorce. All you did was tell me to pack my things and get out." That was before I had time to think about it. I looked into her eyes and took a chance. "I let you off the hook the first 3 times because you didn't want a divorce. I loved you enough to keep quiet and stay with you because you always came back to me." She turned away when I mentioned the first 3 times, which, as far as I could tell, confirmed my suspicions. "It's hard to say why I stayed with you now, but I didn't file for divorce. I thought maybe I did something that really made you angry, and you felt you had to do this to get back at me. Eventually, you'd end your affairs, and I foolishly thought it was because you realized you loved me and came back to me." I looked down at the floor, and yes, the nonsense was already piling up. "I thought this thing with Noble was just like the previous times, but now I see I was wrong. I've come to understand that you're nothing but a low-down cheater, and if you hadn't decided to leave me for Noble and ended things with him, you'd be sleeping with some other guy in 6 months or a year." Thinking about it, I decided I needed some kind of revenge. What I really want to do is take a thick belt and beat you with it until your skin breaks and you bleed on the floor, but that would just put me in jail. The only thing I can do without ending up behind bars is to make this divorce as difficult and expensive as possible for you. You're right, this is also your home, and if you've decided to stay, I have to let you be here. But I don't have to like it, and I don't have to talk to you. Move your stuff to one of the spare bedrooms and stay away from me. I finished my beer, then went up to what used to be our bedroom and got ready for bed. I thought I had accomplished what I set out to do. I had given her something to think about, and she needed to discuss everything with Noble and make decisions, which would take time. time that Josh would use to serve Beatrice and get the restraining order. I could be wrong. Maybe Beatrice had already met with a lawyer, and the papers might already be on their way to me, but it's likely I took the remaining funds when I canceled the credit cards, and they were about what I expected. When I withdrew the cash from the bank, it was also about what it should have been. If Beatrice had seen a lawyer, she would have used our money to pay him. Of course, Noble could have paid the bill. All I could do was wait and hope that Josh took the first step. Story continues with the resolution, final confrontation with Tom Noble, and the lottery ticket revelation. If you found it interesting, please subscribe, give us a like, and leave your comments, and we'll see you on the Story Spark channel.